shown that every single human being on this planet actually has the same basic emotions, regardless of their cultural background and education. How did you actually prove this scientifically, and why is it a big discovery?
Well, it was a big discovery because before then, people were influenced by Margaret Mead, who claimed emotions were a total cultural product, that there were societies in which people never had emotions because they didn't have the idea of explaining their behavior that way. Mead also claimed that what the look of anger in one culture was the look of enjoyment in another, and that you needed, in that sense, a Berlitz book to understand emotion. Darwin, in 1872, based on his experience in the voyage of the Beagle 50 years earlier, made just the opposite claim, that emotions are universal to the species. They are what unite all of humanity, is that we all have these emotions, and even though we can't understand what we say in another language, we can understand what people are feeling. It's an enormously useful thing. How did I do the science? Well, I did a lot of different studies, but the one that was key was going into a Stone Age pre-literate culture where they were actually using stone implements um, in the highlands of New Guinea. This was in 1967 and again in 1968. These people had never seen photographs, films. Most of them had never seen another outsider. Uh, they had never seen their own face because there was no still water, and there certainly were no mirrors. I decided the only way to settle this dispute between Darwin and Mead was winning at this point, and I didn't really care who was right. I just wanted to see if we could find out what is it? What's really there? Are they universal or are they a cultural invention, like gestures are? There's no gesture, not even a head shake yes or no, which is universal. And Darwin was right on that also. He said they were a cultural invention, and indeed they are. So this RAOK is a terrible insult in Sicily. I won't tell you what the insult is, but don't do it if you ever visit Sicily. So I needed to find people who couldn't have been influenced by the outside world, who wouldn't have learned their expressions from John Wayne or, I should use a more contemporary actor than John Wayne, Michelle Pfeiffer or any other. They would have learned it as a product of the revolution. That meant they had to be totally visually isolated. And in 67 and 68, I was able to find such a group. I knew they were disappearing, and by 70 they were gone. These people had seen movies by 1970. So one of the things I did was through a number of, I learned Pidgin, and I found one boy who had gone to a missionary school, and he learned Pidgin. So he became my translator, 12-year-old boy. So I would tell them a story like, friends have come that you really like and you haven't seen them in a long time. Show me the expression on your face, and I would film it. Your child has died. Show me the expression on your face. Of course, they weren't camera shy because they didn't know what a camera was. You're about to fight. Show me the expression on your face. You'll see perfectly. They're the same as you'd see anywhere else in the world. So that was really the strong evidence. And Darwin was challenging explicitly the racists of his time who claimed that Europeans had descended from a more advanced progenitor than the Africans. And what he argued was, if we all descended from Adam and Eve, we'd have the same expressions. So this doesn't prove my theory of evolution and natural selection, but it shows the unity of all human beings. Very good message. And it does show the human. It is, of course, despite that fact, we still have wars. We get angry with each other. We get insulted. But we do have this common element